Hey, what's going on, everybody? Josh right here, back again with a new video. I apologize I haven't been uploading a lot. Over the weekend I was camping, so didn't really have a whole lot of time to talk about the Cardinals or anything, but I did see we won 2 out of 3 against the Pirates. Feeling pretty good. Not feeling good though about this Minnesota series we got coming up. I feel like we're going to get absolutely smacked, but don't worry, the Twins pitching staff they have a bunch of really old guys. We're going up against Homer Bailey today. He is old as dirt. He does not pitch very good against the Cardinals. And then we're going up against, I think, Rick Hill tomorrow. He doesn't pitch very good either. He's like 39, 40 years old. And then, yeah, did you guys hear about the Marlins, the Miami Marlins? There were some guys on their team that were tested positive for COVID-19. I hope they feel better and win more series like they did against the Phillies. That was a really good series they had with the Philly. But we're not talking about baseball today. We're talking about these guys. Moreau Forsyth, Trojans this year was our homecoming shirt against the Florida Blue Jays. Had to throw a hat on. I apologize if this hat looks a little beat up. I had it in my backpack, so it probably might look like it's a little crumpled. Hold up. I was gonna wear this hat today, but the bill's looked a little weird, and so I decided not to wear it, and I didn't want people to notice. But today I felt like explaining how the different games work. So, of course, if you don't play high school football, this is just a little tip about like different stuff that goes on when you do play high school football. So, for those of you who don't know, I don't play high school football myself, but I am an equipment manager. I'm the equipment manager for my football team. For those of you who don't know, or if you're new to my channel, but you OGs would probably know about that. But today we're going to be talking about how how we get ready for games and stuff. And I'm going to break it down into different categories, talk about road games, home games, and then JV games. So, varsity games, of course, we'll have them every Friday. We'll have them on Fridays, and then during the playoffs, we'll have them on Saturdays. And we'll keep playing until we get knocked out, which is a bummer, which means there's no more football. So, first game of the season last year was an away game, so we'll talk about away games first. So, first game we played North Mac Panthers, and so the first thing you'll do is that, of course, as a team, you will go into cafeteria and then you'll eat. So there will be a lot of the players' moms, I think, would make a bunch of food, and players would go in, they'd eat as a team. There would be the whole team would be in there, the coaches would be in there, trainers would be in there, and then the managers would be in there, which is me and my good buddy Damon. He was the other manager last year. I think this year, though, it's going to be just me, because he was a senior. Of course, he had to graduate. Seniors have to graduate. I'm sorry, people. We can't be seniors. You can't be in high school forever. Damon, if you're watching, shout out to you. But so that would be the first thing we would do. We would go in the cafeteria, we would eat, and then so usually we would have somebody go in as like a speaker, usually to a guest speaker to I guess like pump up the team a little bit, get them a little excited for the game. And so our first week we played North Mac. We had a guy come in there. I can never pronounce his last name, but I know his first name is Kevin. And Kevin, he was actually a former baseball player. He played 4 years in the major leagues. He played mostly for the Royals. He played for the Brewers. And then I think he retired. And in 1997, he actually played in AAA for the Cardinals. The AAA team for the Cardinals at the time was in Louisville. So that was pretty cool. Didn't play for very long. He did, though, get his first home run again. His first major league homer was actually off of Nolan Ryan, so that's actually pretty cool. But he would go in there, And I think the first week he would talk about I think was family, and basically like how the team was basically like a family, like you guys have played it with each other your whole lives. You guys are basically like brothers, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And then so when he was done, then that would be when you're done eating. Then you would go to me, Damon, the other manager, and then a bunch of other JV players. Basically, the JV players, if you weren't on varsity, you were managing with me and Damon. So, just to let you guys know, if there's any people on here that end up on JV, not on varsity, you're going to be managing with me. So, first thing we would do, we would go out to the field and we would get a bunch of stuff ready. We would get a kicking net ready. We would have 2 different bags full of footballs, one for kicking balls and then one for game balls. That sounded very, very wrong. That sounded wrong. And so the players would also go out and get their bags. They get bags, and we'd make sure everything was in there. Helmets, pads, cleats, everything that the players needed, and they would wear their jerseys to and from the game. They would always wear their jerseys at school, and their girlfriends would sometimes wear as well. And yeah, and so the trainers would also go in with us, and they would fill up, I think, 2 or 4 different jugs, Gatorade jugs full of water or Gatorade. And then we would also have Gatorade cups, Gatorade bottles for the team, and they'd fill those up full of water and Gatorade. I apologize, I had to turn the music down a little bit so I didn't get copyright strikes. So we put all the bags inside the trailer that we put all the stuff in. We'd have kicking balls, and coolers, bags, everything in there. That would be I don't know what the word I'm looking for. That would be with a van. So that would be tied to a van. Tied to a van. What? What do you mean? It would be attached to the van. That's what I meant to say. So, and then the players would ride on a bus. For the first couple weeks, I think the players would ride on it was kind of like a tour bus, kind of. I remember one game we played Pittsfield. That's another school in our conference. And the thing is, Pittsfield, that's a very long drive. It's like a 2-hour drive, I think. And we would stop at a university. I was eating with the team. I guess the managers and the JV players were supposed to eat together. And, I guess I'm not a very good listener. I was eating with the team. When I was finished, we were getting ready to leave. They leave without me, so I get left behind. But don't worry. Players were like, don't worry, you can just ride with us. And that was kind of cool. We got to watch a movie. It was pretty funny. But yeah, that was kind of my experience in those buses. But yeah, we'd stop at a university, we'd eat there. And yeah, that was pretty fun. So we get everything ready. We would go to whoever we were playing. Like we were playing North Mac, Pittsfield, Williamsville Bullets, Pleasant Plains, Riverton. I'm just naming off all our away games from last year. We would go to wherever we were at, and usually me and the managers, we would always get there before the players did. So before the team did, we would get the trailer unlocked, and we would get everything out. We'd get kicking net, the bags, we'd get everything ready, and then we'd take it out to our sideline, and then the players would come. They would take their bags, they would go to the locker rooms, and they would change. They'd get ready for the game. They'd come out, do warm-ups, go back into the locker room. I don't know why they go back to the locker room. Coach will give them a little talk, and then they'd come back again, and then we'd play the game. And most of the time we won. So after that, and then of course during halftime, you go back in, and then come back out to the field, play the game. We win, yay. We go home, and we get the bags ready, put everything up, and then go home, and somebody would give me a ride. So that's what road games were like. If you ever have an interest in managing or equipment managing with football or anything. So now let's talk about home games. So home games, it's the same thing. You'll eat, but we got to get there just a little bit early. So me and Damon, we would go out to the field, and then we'd have to set the field up for home games. So we had to get there a little bit early. We would put like little markers, I think little orange things. We put them on the at both end zones. That was not very fun because whenever it was really windy, they kept getting knocked over. It's like, come on, man. That took very, very long to set up. And then we put like little bags with different numbers on there, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We put those up, and then we would also have a little marker for the visiting sideline, just so that way they would mark, the different, like where the play was happening, like at the 20-yard, 30-yard line, wherever the play was happening, that would be where it was marked at. And so we'd set the field up. Of course, we would still get everything ready, nets, bags, everything out, and then we would also set out these flags. We'd get these flags out that just said MTF or Trojans on it. We put those up on the home side of the, what's the word I'm looking for, the bleachers, or where the stands are at, anyway. And then of course, same stuff would happen. Team would come out, warm up, go back in. Coach would give them a pep talk, come back out, play the game, we win. And we actually won all our home games last year, which was pretty cool. First home game last year was against New Berlin Pretzels. And no, their pretzels are not very good. They have pretzels at their concession stands, not very good. And then with North Mac, that was pretty fun as well. All I remember from North Mac was their band was really tiny, and it was raining really hard. My mom told me, hey, my mom called me before the game. She goes, hey, you should probably check the forecast. I hear it's going to rain where you guys are at. It's like, oh, no problem. And I was thinking to myself, no big deal. No big deal. It's probably not going to rain. Weathermen, they're always lying to us. First quarter, it was fine. No rain. Second quarter, yep, we got drenched. We had to, during halftime, we would go to the trailer and we would try to keep dry. But yeah, next time you play a football game in the rain, bring a raincoat. That would have been very, very helpful. I had to borrow somebody else's raincoat or coat to keep warm. But yeah, that was not very fun. But sitting in the rain, that was not very fun. But the game itself was pretty fun. And then, so we talked about away games, we talked about home games, and then now we'll go into JV games. So this was a little bit different. Of course, with JV play, so me and Damon, we would manage both. We would both do the home games, and then I would go with and then whenever we had an away game, I would do the away games. So that was our plan. Even though we didn't have to go, I still went anyway, just so the players weren't being morons or anything. They FYI, the players actually watched these videos. So they'll probably know a little bit too. So not a whole lot to say here, except for I know we'll have the kicking net. We'd have, I think this time, we'd have like two jugs, one full of, or I think it was just one jug full of water. and then I think one full of Gatorade. And then of course the JV games were on Mondays, and instead of driving in the van, of course we'd drive on a bus, or we'd get there on a bus. Not really a whole lot to say about JV games, except for not a whole lot to say except for, well, you'll just have less stuff. And so JV games, how those will work is, again, we would warm up, we'd play. We actually didn't go into the locker rooms during JV games. So yeah, that was a little bit different, and I'm looking forward a whole lot to this season. Not a whole lot else to say, except for hopefully we have a season this year. And if you do ever decide on becoming a equipment manager for football, I mean, go ahead, do it. I mean, it helps you out getting into colleges and stuff. You don't get paid for it, unfortunately, but it's still a lot of fun, and it kind of helps me kind of understand football a little bit. That way I'm not asking my mom, questions about, what happens with different football stuff. Because, she's a football fan, but she doesn't really know a whole lot about football. And so, yeah, it's kind of fun. Not a whole lot else to say except for like, subscribe, comment down below if you learned anything from this. And if this video gets 3 likes, 1, 2, 3 likes, maybe I'll go out to the field tomorrow and we'll do a video. How about that, if we don't play music? But with that said, thank y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, on the road to 200 subs, and go Trojans.